right, what it do, YouTube? It's your boy DJ. I'm here with my co-host Brandon. Say what's up for the good people, my boy.
What it do, YouTube? Back at
And we
it.
are with another episode of Off the Plank podcast. This is episode 8. We are joined here with my boy my brother from another mother, as y'all can see, my boy Reese of House.of.Reps and Exotic Pets out here in Atlanta. Say what's up to the folks, man.
What's up, folks? How y'all doing?
Oh, how you feeling, Reese? How everything going?
I'm all right. You know, just trying to get by this busy season, this holiday season.
Holiday season, got your gifts for the family and everything like that.
I wish.
You wish you
We,
get no
we're
gifts?
gonna be we're gonna be cutting it close this year. Yeah,
I feel you.
I might be riding with Santa to drop these off.
That means shit done got real, huh?
Oh yeah,
I feel you.
Shit is
it's
getting
just
real.
that.
I
It's
ain't
just that
been
season. It's just that season.
no, that's real. So, I don't know if you're really too familiar with our show, but you know what I'm saying. It's pretty much gonna be very straightforward, simple. We talk about anything, any and everything. Pick your brain, get to know the breeders on this, on this channel, and basically
Okay.
show the world, show our followers who you are as a person, and you know what I'm saying. We let them know where they can find you at and where you can shop with you at and all that good stuff. You're actually our first leopard gecko breeder / crested
Mm.
gecko breeder. We had Flawless Exotics on here.
Okay, yeah, I
Um,
seen them on here.
the last, yeah, flawless. They do flawless crested geckos as well. So we had them on here the last episode, dropping gems or whatever. So you know what I'm saying. You got to continue that trend and drop some gems.
Well, I'm out here
Big
trying to
shoes.
collect gems.
You
I ain't
trying to
trying to
collect
chop them.
them? Yo, y'all remember that game, Spyro?
Oh yeah,
Spyro, you don't remember that game?
Nah,
went
On
through
PlayStation?
Spiral collecting the gems. Yeah,
Yeah, bro. Brandon, you don't remember that game?
bro.
Brandon, you older than me, bro. You should have known
bro,
it.
you
You
ain't
already
played PlayStation 1?
Brandon ain't had no
Man,
play. Brandon ain't no gamer, bro.
nah, I ain't a gamer.
I feel
Only
you.
thing
I
on
was just on
PlayStation when I
zombies.
remember is Tony Hawk. That's the
That's a
only
good
thing I
one.
remember on PlayStation.
That's a good one to remember.
Yeah,
Tony Hawk?
Yeah.
You never played Pro Skater?
Oh, you ain't played Pro Skater?
I mean, I played Tony Hawk. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying, like,
That's some of the best hip hop tracks on a video
how
game.
you can't remember Spyro, bro?
Bro, I don't know.
I mean, I ain't really play Spyro either. It was on the demo disc. That's the only reason why I played it.
Man, y'all wildin'. I had the demo that had Crash Bandicoot on there and everything too. So
I had Crash. I got Crash on my phone. That's funny.
You play that on your phone now?
My son be playing
I
Crash on
think
the phone.
Crash Bandicoot that's a staple game, bro.
Nah, for sure,
Like, that's a staple character for real, for real.
Yeah.
for sure.
But yeah, but a little bit about it. So tell us a little bit more about you, Reese. Like where you from, how you started, how you came into the game, what brought you to where you are now.
All right. Well, so, what's up, y'all? I'm Reese. I'm from Florida, born and raised. Moved to Atlanta when I was like 18. Pretty much been breakdancing my whole career, my whole life from 14 to 30. I'm about to be 33. But growing up in Florida, I always loved animals. I'm outside exploring whatever, snakes, turtles, all over the place. My first pet was a turtle I found in the street, almost ran it over, and then picked it up. It was like a little baby turtle, it was a different color. And I was like, oh, snap. And then so I kept it. Had a couple other after that. They didn't really make it because I didn't know what I was doing. So they died one day. Yeah, I just put him in a tank with water and was like, oh, I got a turtle. But a hurricane came. We had to go to my aunt's. And by the time we came back, it all dried up. So he was, I don't know. It was sad. But so that was like my first reptile. I didn't really have any more after that for a while. Kind of breakdancing took over. But while I was in high school, I did take marine biology and zoology because I did want to work with animals at some point. I just didn't know how. But as I got out of high school, dance kind of took over, and I just started doing gigs and shows and whatever, and working on that. And then 2020, I was with the Braves. COVID came. They fired everybody, laid us all off because of COVID. And then somebody surrendered a redfoot tortoise to me, and she ain't have no legs, or she got legs, but she got no feet in the back, just little nubs. And then her shell was really bumpy, a lot of MBD. And so after that, I went to Repticon for the first time. saw all the stuff going on. I was like, what? I've never seen this before. This is right here in Atlanta. Like, this is crazy. Started seeing all the different animals, snakes and stuff. Like, what? Got my first leopard gecko there. Brought it home. Me and the family arguing over who's getting to hold it. So I went and bought another one. And then, just started doing more research and stuff because I always wanted to work with animals. And I saw everything in Repticons. Like, how do I become a part of this without going to the zoo, going to the aquarium, or, having a degree in marine biology or whatever, and to do it that way. So I saw these people doing it like that. And then I just started doing my research with the leopard geckos because they were pretty cool. They're smaller, easier to keep. And it just went from there. So now here I am on my third year, going on my fourth year of breeding. Of leopard geckos, crested geckos. I've done bearded dragons too. I've done flying geckos too, but it's not like it's not like something I'm doing all the time. Yeah, flying geckos, they're cool. They're called Cool's flying geckos. Oh my god! All right, my tripod died, but it's all good. I got another one. All right, bet. They're cool little geckos. They don't get too big. They're like this big. The tail on them is pretty cool. Kind of looks like a fern leaf, like little things coming out, and then the hands. They got the webbed feet.
They got big eyes.
They got big eyes, and they got a little membrane from the wrist down the side, that little flap that opens up, so they can literally glide like a flying squirrel, like a sugar glider.
Yeah,
and they're cool, but they're mostly imported, and so I kind of bought two wild caught ones, just to have them. I didn't know they were male and female, and then one day I started coming in, there's eggs on the side, and so I didn't really know how to take them off because they're kind of like tokay gecko eggs, if you're familiar with those.
Sticks to the glass and stuff like that.
Yeah, it just sticks to the glass. So there was nothing I could do but just hope for the best. And one hatched, and then the other one hatched. The first one that hatched didn't really make it. Second one hatched, it got bigger, lived, and then the next season they laid like 3 more. So I got like 2 more babies out of that. They don't really lay too many, or my pair didn't lay too many. So it was just like a one-time thing. They both kind of passed away after 2 years. They were both imports, like I said. And then I just haven't got any more since. But that's geckos. They're pretty cool though. They're cool.
Yeah, they're like the Pokemon. They're like the real life Pokemon of the world right now.
Flying geckos.
That's
like they look like them little. The little green Pokemon. I don't know. That's
how many green Pokemon there are? You talking about Bulbasaur?
Nah, bro. Trico. I think that was like Johto or something like that.
I know you're talking about now. Yeah.
It's
funny, they're not green though. They always like kind of black and gray with like kind of like a reticulated pattern and stuff. Like they're pretty cool though. Like I said, I don't have any more. I'll show you, but yeah. They're called Cool's flying geckos. If you want to Google it one day.
So when you said you was tap dancing, you talking about like world lap dancing?
Break dancing, yeah. I used to tour with the Harlem Globetrotters. Yeah, I'm self-taught. I grew up in hip hop. My dad raps. I grew up doing graffiti and breaking. So we're a big hip hop family. My family's from up north. My dad's from Jersey. Mom's from New York. One of my mentors is from Rocksteady crew from back in the day. Honey Rockwell. She lives here in Ackworth. Her husband, Orko, legendary headspin master. So definitely involved in hip hop and breaking very deeply. I just ever since I started with the animals, I kind of shifted and haven't danced anymore. It's just a lot of responsibility. So I have 100.
My son, he was we had him in hip hop dance. I don't remember how old he was, but he did like 2 shows, and it's pretty cool. Like he deep in it. Like he like it. I came in the room the other day and I seen him and his friends was on the phone. They just on the phone, FaceTime with each other, both of them dancing.
Okay.
Like, cool, yeah.
Are you close to Ackworth at all?
Nah, I'm in Maryland.
Oh, dang, never mind.
Yeah, I'm all the way up top. I'm up in Maryland. So
he on the other end of the world.
Yeah, no, I've been there. I did a show there with the Globetrotters when I was on tour with them. That was my first time up there.
We should look into doing a show out there, bro. Do a little. I don't know if we'll do a road trip. Yeah, like I don't know how we'll do that, like road trip wise. I'm on the Reese since we're in the same city.
Go up there and do an expo?
Yeah, that'd be something different. When we get to that point, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, we could do that as long as we can crash at Peace House.
Yeah, pull up. So I'm not nowhere near no shows. Like the closest show to me is Gettysburg, and that's probably That's probably about 2 hours away.
So we just gotta get up early. It's all good.
Yeah, yeah,
You
it
need to throw
definitely
your,
have to be.
you need to throw your own show out there.
Oh, there you go.
Oh,
Somebody talked to me about that
oh,
too
that,
one day. I was like, nah, I'll vend. I don't want to throw a whole show. Not yet.
I was
Looking like
actually thinking
KG.
about that because there's nothing in my area,
I
but
feel
we
yeah.
do have
You would
like
have to
two
go
fairs
somewhere
right up the
far.
street. Yeah, so I was like, man, if I can figure out if it's enough people out here, I possibly would try it.
Hey, one of y'all got two tabs open by chance?
Oh shoot,
Like
might
this
be,
stream or either YouTube or something?
might be.
No, I'm on my phone.
Well, I asked because it's echoing and I can hear the echo. I don't know if the anybody else can hear the echo, but I can hear it.
No, I don't hear an echo.
All right,
No,
well
give
that's
me
cool. If y'all
I
can't
don't
hear it,
know.
then I think
I
we're
have my
pretty
phone
much
on
straight.
YouTube.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't hear it no more.
There.
yeah, I
But
just
all
updated.
right, there it is. So okay, so Reese, so let's get into some of this interview questions. So, what made you start with a leopard? So when you first went to the expo, you said you got a leopard gecko first, right? So
Yeah.
what made you choose a leopard? Like what stood out about leopard gecko that made you choose that as your beginning animal?
Well, a couple things. Well, I was living at a friend's house, so I didn't own a house. Was renting a room, so I didn't want to bring something to the house that was big, taking
Yeah,
up too
Mhm.
much room. So there was a good size after talking to somebody. And then space again, back to space. So pretty much it was just a space situation, and they were smaller. They had a bunch of crazy different colors from when I first saw them compared to other things that are like, yeah, this is green or this is brown, but these are everything. So it was just kind of something to do with those, and so I just liked it.
Okay,
that's
so
what's
you
up.
had
That's
different
what's
color variations and all that. You weren't really into morphs and all that. Yeah, you just seen something that looked nice and you just like I like that. It's not too big, it ain't too small.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much.
Nah, that's real. I think my first hell, actually my first animal was a leopard gecko too, to be honest.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it was kind of strange. It was, of course, it was PetSmart, but um, during COVID, just wanted something to look. Just wanted something like a pet, but I didn't want no dog at the time. Because I was staying that I couldn't have dogs, and then
You said
and
during COVID.
yeah, it was during COVID. I'm a COVID breeder. I call myself a COVID breeder.
I'm a COVID boomer too. Yep, we COVID
So
boomers.
you know, what I'm
up.
saying came in a hobby strong during COVID. You know,
Yeah.
but and then I had I didn't want nothing that was too big or whatever. I couldn't get a dog, and I hate cats. Say like I really do hate cats.
Yeah, I don't like
Like
cats either.
it
I'm
just
not a
creeped
big
me out.
fan.
Even though I've had a cat, but it was not by choice.
Not house cats. I like big cats, but not no house cat.
Yeah, so you know what I'm saying, but ain't nothing wrong with the leopard. So I know you do crested as well, right?
Yeah, that was just more of a business thing. Like I didn't want to just have one thing. I wanted to have a little variety of something else. So I got into the cresteds just to because I was still just beginning. So I wanted things that were easy to learn, easy to take care of. I didn't want to stress myself out. Like, I got an alligator. Now I got to learn how to take care of an
Gotta
alligator.
figure this
You know
thing
what I
out.
mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
So
yeah, yeah.
I wanted to start small and work my way up. I didn't just want to jump in there and be crazy. Um, so that was pretty much it.
That's
Okay.
what's up. That's
So
what's up.
do you find it hard like with crested geckos as far as like IDing and all that extra being that like they can show a difference between them like flaming up, I guess I
Yeah,
don't know
firing up, firing down.
up and firing down and all that extra. You find that hard to like ID because I know I have a couple of crested geckos here, and I know I have to call you up every now and then to figure out some shit. So I'll be trying to figure out right
I
what's
mean,
like
we all do
besides,
that.
yeah, but like I said besides the generic like the portholes and you know what I'm saying, knowing exactly if it's patternless or the Dalmatian spots. But like when it comes to like actually IDing and like you know how in
Mm,
ball python we can say this is a fire G stripe
mm.
Xantic or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But like in geckos, I feel like it's a little bit different when it comes to like naming the actual traits or genes, if you know what I'm saying. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
When it comes to that. You find that hard to do?
I mean, as a beginner, I'm self-taught. So in the beginning, for sure, it was definitely hard. I didn't really have nobody. I was self-taught, just doing it on my own. So it's still hard, but I've worked with it enough to have an understanding now. So also today, I just learned too. There's not really crested gecko morphs. It's mainly all traits. There might be
Trait,
like
right?
there might be 2 or 3 actual morphs, and the rest are just traits and
So like
stuff
Exantic
like that.
would Exantic actually be a morph or a trait?
That'd probably be a morph. I mean, I don't want to speak too crazy on cresteds. I'm not like some pro on
So
cresteds.
so we need to pull it back and go back to the leopards. We need
No,
to
no,
go
no.
back to the
It's
leopards.
cool. It's cool. I mean, don't get me wrong. I still like learning. So even talking about it, we learn stuff anyway. So you might know
For
something
sure.
I didn't know, whatever. But I mean, just as far as my experience with it, like I just started small with two groups. From there,
Mhm.
got them identified. That way, I could tell. Made sure I talked to multiple people. This person said this. Can you confirm that a little bit? Da da da. I know it's hard. You don't know the parents. I don't either. But can you help me out? You know what I mean? And then so I did that with the crestas, got rid of them after, a year of breeding them just to go through that process. And then I made sure the next ones that I got in, okay, this is this genetic or more for trait or whatever. Boom. Now that's labeled. So now when I see these babies, okay, I can pick it up. But it's just also a lot of research. So they have charts and stuff on Google. I'll be always looking at like flame this, harlequin this, okay, pinstripe, partial pinstripe. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
all just like different traits. So if you can identify the traits, it's not too hard. But they do have some hets in there too. I'm just not big on the hets with the cresteds. Um,
I didn't even know Christy had well
they do.
besides
They got. So I didn't know that either until like my second year breeding because I had a phantom and her babies. I didn't know phantom was a recessive gene. So I thought it was just
so
another trait. And
what does
somebody told me
phantom
if this
look
was
like?
phantom, this is het phantom. And I was like, oh, I didn't know there was hets. And they're like, yeah. So this is gonna be
Dang.
het phantom.
So
Um,
what does a phantom look like? Is a phantom like almost patternless or something?
kind of. Mine was. She was like. So mine was a reverse stripe phantom, and she was basically like this beige, yellowish color, and instead
Mhm.
of a pinstripe, it's underneath the
Is
sides, and it's
the
a darker
dorsal?
color. So it's a reverse
Oh,
pinstripe.
Oh, oh,
So it's
oh,
not
oh.
the white. It's not the white stripe. It's like a darker stripe underneath, and so that was
oh,
pretty dope. And when she fired up, she would be like this kind of brightish yellowish, pale a little bit, and then
you
like
better
when she was regular, she'd be like this dull little tan and stuff. Like it's
you
cool,
better you about to
but
make you about to make me go over there and go trying to ID all these crested geckos I got,
I mean, I
especially
tell you, bro, just gotta find those key traits and then just write them on the tank. Boom.
yeah, no fact, especially for the auction for my man Stan. We having an auction. Well, a couple of guys in the group chat I'm in, they're having an auction for a good cause for Stan's wife. She's basically battling cancer right now. I just wanted to shout them out, you know what I'm saying? Stan the man, that's my boy. But
Yeah, I'm not gonna say nothing.
yeah, I got a couple of geckos and a couple of ball pythons that I'm gonna add to that auction. So I need to go ahead and get my ID in right. So you know what I'm saying, to make sure they're the
Shoot,
right thing.
I'll give y'all a crested gecko for it. Shoot, you can
I
have one.
appreciate that, bro.
I'll put one
Definitely
up.
appreciate it.
That's
I
what's
Definitely
couldn't
up.
even get
appreciate
rid of
it.
these at the show. So I'm about to just give them away.
That's my
Hey,
what I do is hey, I get you in contact with. Well, even if you give it to me and I'll let Ken them know because they actually doing it on February 10th. So you'll be
Okay.
able. I'll send you the link to that too, so you'll know about the whole auction and all that. So it's for a good cause, you know what I'm saying? That reptile community got to stick together, bro.
We
yeah.
got you. They helped me out when I my mom wrecked my car and I was out. A lot of people helped me out with that. Different breeders I was not expecting. Just any couple dollars here and there. I was able to bounce back and put a down payment on the car like in a week. So
Wow. That's what's up.
community helped me out with that, and it was super surprising and just very
Nah,
helpful.
that's what's up. I mean, that's one thing I will say about the community. It's like already in the world, we're already seen as outcasts, but at the same time, like we are sort of tight knit outcasts.
I mean,
It's
I
like,
kind of come from something like that already, being a b-boy
yeah,
in the b-boy
yeah.
community, hip-hop community. We know people all over the world through dance.
Mm-hmm.
I've met people from Europe, Israel, Japan, Mexico. I've had people from Mexico stay with me. We don't even speak the same language. We talk it through Google Translate for a week, learning from each other moves. Like, we always look out and try to help one another as long as you doing the real. You know what I mean? You're not out
Yeah,
here
yeah,
faking it, stealing people's moves, being
yeah,
shady, whatever.
yeah,
As long as you being true to yourself, true to the culture or whatever, then we got you. So same thing. I just apply that to reptiles now. If you an ethical breeder or you a good person trying to take care of animals correctly and not just half-assed, I could rock with you. If you just trying to flip animals and don't really care about animals or whatever. You've been in the game 20 years, so you don't really, their lives don't matter no more. Like, I don't got no
Yeah,
respect for
now
it.
it's
You know
just
what I
it's
mean?
the dollar sign for real.
It's just like with breaking with OGs. Like, you can meet, oh, this breeder, he's been breeding for a long time. I finally get to meet him, and he's probably the worst person in the world. You just didn't even know. Same thing
Mm-hmm.
with breaking. You see this person, he's been in movies, commercials, and you're like, yo, I love this dancer. Go meet them, and they were the biggest jerk. And you were just like, bro, I spent 15 years idolizing you.
Idolizing
And,
this person.
you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you are trash. So I just apply that same thing to reptile community. So I still stay to myself, try to do my own thing, but yet I still have to learn from everybody. So it's all about the community.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So what else do you do outside of just breeding the animals? Like, do you do anything else with animals?
Yeah, so like we were talking about earlier, the House of Reps and exotic pets. The exotic pets part got added on because basically I do a lot of reptile shows, like birthday parties and school shows and camps and whatever fall festivals. You book me, I'm there. Photo shoots, rent out snakes for photo shoots, whatever. So it's not just breeding anymore. Now it's like, okay, how I marketed to parents. Oh, you don't want a pet? Well, that's cool. I'll bring them over, and then I'll take them back home. You know what I mean?
Facts,
Let
facts,
y'all hang
facts,
out.
facts.
Some people, they don't want to rock with them forever, but they want to hang out and learn. So, I just had a party this morning. They
Nice,
they keep me
nice.
pretty busy. And so it keeps me working with animals full time, so I can do shows, make bread, and then I can come home and breed. So I have my breeding projects to the side, and then I have certain animals that are just pets that I use for ambassador animals for shows.
Facts.
And
So yeah, so like we was talking, like I asked about that
Mhm.
earlier, whatever. But that's pretty much the same thing that I'm planning on doing. So I did a couple birthday parties. Well, I did a school event so far. And that's why I started collecting more animals and getting more
Yeah,
different species. You know what I mean? So basically, I'm trying. I do the same thing. Like I'm growing up a boa in here for photo shoots because you need a bigger snake for photo shoots, stuff like that. So
yeah, I got an 8 foot albino berm over here.
D, I was about to buy a berm, and D was like, "Nah, man, you need an ultrasound." So it's like, all right, keep my
Nah,
ducks in
I
order.
got a
He need,
boy. I don't need an ultrasound. My boy, he's good.
nah, he need an ultrasound. He know why he need an ultrasound.
Yeah, definitely gotta get an ultrasound,
He
man. I
got
got
some females. He got some female ball right now. He trying to get right over there. You got to get that ultrasound. That
yeah,
Burmese
definitely.
ain't going nowhere. You can always get that.
I
Nah, that's
mean,
true.
maybe because they gone here in Georgia. You can't get them no more in Georgia. They're
He
illegal
in
though.
Maryland.
Yeah, I'm
They
in
they
Maryland.
he in
I can get
Maryland, so
them.
he good. He
That's
I
can
what
can
I'm
get them.
always
saying.
get
That's
that.
what I'm saying. He's good with that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
It's too
he
late
can
so
for us.
always. You had to get yours
yeah, I'm
shipped
on
and
this.
all that, huh?
Well,
Cool.
you had to have yours before the whole ban came in, right?
Yeah, yeah. I had mine already, so I just had to get it chipped and registered with the state.
Okay,
Okay.
cool. That's
So
what's
how
up.
long?
Yeah, I'm on the same process.
So what's your this is a a random question, but what's your 5 year goal as far as like doing shows and everything? What you got going on now?
That's a good question. So, I mean, like I said, I'm in my third year. My third year. This is the first year that I did my license to do expos and stuff, my breeder's license. And so my goal was just to do one show. I ended up doing 5 this year.
And
So
you did.
I try to just stick to it and keep it pushing. So within the next 5 years, I want to be able to have shows being booked on a regular, not expos, but like birthday parties and schools and stuff like that, to where I can have at least one employee, maybe 1 2 employees to go do shows while I'm doing other stuff and doing shows as well. So that can be self-sustaining, and it's not just me, having to do every single show. Where I have so many bookings that now I can get paid off of, booking other shows. So that's the goal with that, as far as that. And then breeding projects, I'm just starting to really hone into what I'm doing, because the first 3 years it was just all learning. I mean, it's all learning anyway, but
Yeah,
the first 3 years I really wanted to just go through the process of eggs, incubating, this, that, like genetics and stuff I'm learning, but I still just, genetics don't matter if you can't keep animals alive and keep eggs alive,
facts,
and
facts,
none of
facts,
that matters. And so
facts.
I wanted to go through those processes and figure out what's best for me. So now I'm narrowed it down. Last year, finally got good incubators. I had like literally 100% hatch rate on my crested geckos when I was
Nice.
doing like 50% hatch rate the first 2 years. because I was just incubating all wrong. So you know what I mean? I could have bought like crazy expensive geckos and just killed all their eggs those first 2 years for no reason. So it was just processes that I just wanted to go through. So now that I did all that, all those beginner geckos I had, I weeded them out, sold them as pet onlys to shows and different people. So that way I could bring in new genetics and actually start working with projects and stuff like that. So next
That's
year will be my first year starting with real genetics from different lineages and different real breeders. So I'm gonna start something called the Glacier Project. It's something that leopard geckos. It's basically it's gonna be an eye genetic where it's like bluish. It's called the blue amber eye. So I'm trying to put that as like a amber vial, like at the pharmacy, that
Yeah.
yeah,
glass amber.
yeah.
So it's like that, but it's blue. It's really dark blue, and it's real pretty. So it's that with this Albie Snow. And the Albie Snow is a different snow gene. There's about 4 different snow genes in leopard geckos, and this is a lime bred snow, and it's supposed to be like the whitest of all of them and stuff like that. It's
Oh,
also the
that's
more it's also the more rare one. Not a lot of people work with it. It's an old school line, and what's crazy, the guy who invented it, I just was vending next to him at the last show. His name's Albie. You know what I
Nice.
mean?
oh,
That's why it's
that's
called Albie Snow. Yeah,
Albie from
Albie.
Albie
Yeah,
Too
Too
Cool.
Cool. Yeah, Too Cool's Albie.
Get
He's
out
the
of
one that
here!
invented. Yep, he's the one that invented Albie Snow.
Wow, that's
And
crazy.
so then he imported them overseas, and there's a breeder over there that she kind of maintained that line, the purity of that line. And so she's like one of the only people, and then a couple other people here in the US. So it's not really worked with a whole lot. So that's why I took that one in. So basically the goal is to get like a turquoise bluish white gecko with the bluish eyes. You know what I
That
mean?
sounds dope.
Oh
But
wow.
it's gonna take some work because the blue amber eye is connected to an albino strand called rainwater. So you got to separate it. It's going to be a lot of test breeding, a lot of stuff like that. But next year is the first year I'm actually be able to start with my pairs and my base pairs and stuff like that to start, transitioning and working on that. So,
Basically, that's gonna be
um,
like hets and all that type of stuff.
exactly, creating heads to go back to heads to weeding stuff out to bringing it back to, you know what I mean? So it's going to be dissecting, reconnecting, dissecting and over. And so that's going to take more than 5 years alone. But, that's part of the 5 year plan right there.
Okay.
That sounds exciting, bro.
It's
How
kind of
long
it
does
kind
it
of
take?
is.
How long does it take them to breed? Like, how long do you got to raise them up before you can start pairing them back together?
Well, that's the other thing about Leos. Leos are very quick. They can 1 year they be ready to breed as long as they're up to weight and they're healthy. Then in like a year they can breed. So it doesn't take too long. Um, but just incubating the eggs, sometimes they could die. Sometimes they're not fertile. Just anything could happen. Or these two geckos don't like each other, so no matter what, they just not gonna pair. Like it could be
Yeah,
anything.
Yeah.
man.
I used to
Nature can.
have some. I used to have a 1.2, and this when I first started with bringing in stuff, and they was cool. I just dove into the ball pythons and kind of like pushed it to the side. Like I wasn't thinking about the shows and all that type of stuff at that period of
Yeah.
time. So I kind of like pushed it to the side. But I had a Max Snow, um, a wild type, and no, it was a Max Snow, Carrot Tail or something, a wild type, and a albino.
Okay.
And they was cool. Like I said, they was cool, but just wasn't too into them at that period of time. But now it's like
I feel you.
I think I want to get another one.
I feel you. I mean, that's how it was with the ball pythons. Like Repticon turned me off of ball pythons in general. Like every single table has ball pythons on it.
Pythons, yeah, for sure.
That's why I was just like, why would I want to do something that everybody's doing? I've never been like that. That's how breaking is. You don't want to do the same moves everybody's doing. You want to create your own style. So I'm like that with reptiles. Okay, I want to create my own style. What am I doing? I don't want to do what everybody's doing. So
Facts, facts.
yeah, I mean, I can't just create a new animal. So yeah, still got to work with stuff that people are doing, but stuff that people aren't using the most. There's a lot of leopard geckos out there, but with all these different genetics, just like all pythons, there's so many different ways, things that haven't been
That you
created
can make
yet.
stuff happen, yeah, for
You know
sure.
that you can still play with it and create something, and you know what I'm saying, you could do something with it. So that's
So I'm
kind of why I
wondering
went with
with the leopard geckos. All right, so you know how like carrot tail has the carrot looking tail, right?
yeah, orange
And
tail.
then you got the super what is the super dark night or something like that, the real black one.
It's called Black Knight. Yeah.
Okay, Black Knight. Could you make a Black Knight with a carrot tail?
What do you mean? Like mix them?
That'd be fine. Like if the whole body is black and then the tail is just like super
Mm-hmm.
bright, you can do that.
I mean, I can't, but somebody possibly can. I mean, people working on stuff like that now, but you got to understand the genetics to do it just like with ball pythons. But Black Knights are line bred, so it's not a morph, it's not a genetic, it's not something you could just put two geckos together and make that. It took
Okay.
10 years of taking two of the darkest geckos and putting them back together, and just keep rebreeding those till you just get the blackest gecko you've ever seen, and that's how the Black Knight was created. And now it's being outcrossed and stuff like that. So there's people working on stuff kind of like what you said, but not specifically like a carrot tail with the black body, which would be fire. But they have stuff called like lava, which is like a mander like orange with the black, and so it kind of looks like that, like it's really nice red orange, but all black body and stuff. Like it's pretty cool. Then I
I'm gonna
think
definitely
magma
look
too.
into it. They expensive too.
Yeah, they like 3K, 2K. Yeah,
Magma.
yeah,
That's a
like
combo.
lava.
That's like a combo.
Yeah, yeah. It's like some type of tangerine mixed with the Black Knight.
Because
Yeah.
that's what kind of like put me out of when I started looking at. They were very easy to care for. I would say that. Like it wasn't something that I wouldn't like to have, but it was more so something where it was like, do I really want these? And then when I started looking at the prices of them to try to find some really cool ones, I was like, man, that's a lot of freaking money to get something that
Trust
that
me, it took me a
easy.
minute. It took me a minute. I don't
Oh,
know if y'all.
that's like
So
so. Is that like a stripe
this
or
is probably
something?
like my favorite one that I produced this year. It's a white and yellow Albie Snow Extreme Bold.
There
Yeah,
we
there's
go.
no way I would have knew all of that was in that.
So how do you
So
know there's white and yellow? Because of the hands?
all
I
right,
know I
so
see the yellow, of course.
yeah, so when it's first born, you see this high white
Yeah.
side, and then yellow. So that's the white and yellow right there. But it also enhances the color. So when it first is hatching, you'll see like certain little characteristics, like just like brighter little lines of orange on certain parts and stuff like that, where you'll see like more white. And so when this one first came out, it was super white with the black, and now the yellow's coming in.
Oh,
So
Them
nice.
lips is fast.
yeah,
They
but
fast to be so small.
yeah, she's dope.
Man, them Jones different. So would
That's
you
a
rather
that's a
Papa
female
Geckos or Pistol
breed.
Geckos?
What'd you say?
My bad. I was saying that was a female breeder. My bad, Brandon. I didn't mean to cut you off.
You
That's a
good?
female breeder you had. That's a female.
It is female. It was supposed to be female. It's starting to look like a boy, but I'm hoping it stays female. But it was produced this year, so she's still not even a full year old. She was born in September 12th of this year.
You know how
Wow.
big that is?
Wow. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like that was the size of mine, and I think they was like 3.
You know, it's so funny y'all say that because me and my friend were talking about that from the show this week, or the other weekend ago. But a lot of people come to my table and they're like, "Oh my God, your geckos are so big," and I'm like, "Cool, I appreciate that, but that's what they're supposed to look like,
Yeah,
like."
you're
So
feeding them. You're feeding them.
what geckos are you looking at? Like they're like, well, I've had mine for 2 years and it's not even this big. And I'm like, the one you just pointed at is 4 months old. I'm like, it's only 4 months old and you've had yours 2 years. It's about that size. I'm like,
Jeez.
what are you feeding? They're like, oh, like 3-5 worms here and there a day. I'm like, you want to eat like 5 chips a day? Like what you doing? You know what I mean? Like
It's not
so.
like a commercial, no.
Like people are very like I give them 10 worms, and I mean I just put them in a bowl, man. Like I just don't fill the bowl all the way up, but I put a good amount. I don't measure nothing. I just kind of scoop and put it in there, and then I check. I'm constantly checking every day. Look, oh, okay, you ate all that. Dang, all right, here's some more. Boom. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? Because if they don't want to eat, they're not gonna
they're
eat.
not
They're
gonna
not.
eat. Yeah.
They're not just gonna eat constantly just because food's there. They don't work like that. So you could just leave food in there and let them eat when they want to eat. You know what I mean?
I
Unless
love
you
it.
want to palm feed them, but yeah. So it's funny
Yeah.
y'all say that, how big they are. They just be eating. It's also about supplementation too, though. I don't know.
Yeah, some
See y'all.
people,
all the supplementation up here, all this,
Hey, get them right. Show them what you use to
Oh,
get
the
them
right
right.
package.
all this. This is bee pollen mixed with multivitamin. This is more calcium with D3 mixed together. But you just gotta have multivitamins, calciums, all that good stuff.
And you got your geckos in rack systems.
Yeah. So this is my adult rack. So I don't keep too many either. That's another thing. I know a lot of people, you see their rooms, they got walls and walls of racks and stuff like that. That's cool. That's great. That's not my goal. My goal is to keep a certain select amount and just work with that. And if I
Right.
need to get more in, then I
Somebody
replace.
gotta
So
go. Yeah, somebody
right,
gotta go.
somebody's got to go. If you're not working no more, you're not part of the project anymore, or you served your purpose. Okay, it's time for you to find a new home. Go with them. Find somebody else's purpose, whatever. But I ain't trying to be crazy like that. Like I'm trying to keep it selective in
You
in
want
you know
quality.
in
You want
quality,
dope.
quality over quantity.
Yeah,
But I mean, you still got to grow. So
yeah,
I
facts.
don't want to
But
grow with a warehouse full of boo boo. I want some good stuff.
I just having a
Yeah,
whole bunch of what flawless call it the trenches.
you want
In
to
the
stay in
trenches. You ain't trying to be in the trenches.
Yeah, nah, I ain't trying to do all that. Where like, yeah, I ain't trying to do all that. So,
Yeah,
um,
ain't nothing
That's
wrong
smart
with
too because like that's what a lot of people say. It's I'd rather feed one quality animal versus five low quality animals. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
I kind of like think the same way. So my collection, I told my wife I'm a max out at about 30 ball pythons. Right now I'm at like 22, I think.
okay,
But once I get there, that's including that might not be including the whole bag. That might not.
yeah,
But
yeah. I feel
as
you. It's
they
like
grow
30
out,
breeders, and then you still got the babies. Like
yeah,
you
yeah,
gotta
pretty much.
limit that. Yeah.
Pretty much. And most of mine are females. So it's like once they all breed and then the babies that I hold back, then once they get the size, then the
Hmm.
breeder female, she can do what she does. But I'm thinking like most of mine, I want to give my breeders, if I don't sell them to somebody else that wants to use them, I
Hmm.
most likely would give them to people I do shows at. So like a couple of shows I did, I met the parents or met the client or something like that, and I'll say, look, I'll just leave you this animal as long as you are cool with the upkeep of it and all that type of stuff. Not just
Hmm.
whatever, and they be
You're
cool
real
with it.
trustworthy. I couldn't do that.
Nah, they be cool with it. Like I build in clothes. Like I gave my nephew a snake.
No, I bet they cool with it, but I'm saying you trustworthy to trust them to take care of your animal after you leave. Like
I
I
gave
can't do
away
that.
so far. I gave away one, two. I gave two to school systems as class pets.
Okay.
I gave my nephew one because that was his first ball
Well,
python.
that's family. Yeah, he'll take
Yeah,
care of it.
and I gave my cousin one, and then for Christmas I'm giving my goddaughter one.
Okay, okay.
So
Oh, so it's all family then. You good? Cause
yeah,
some
pretty
of
much.
these
And
kids, bro,
the two for
kicking me in my
education.
shin, running around. I ain't about to give them no gecko, bro. Just cause it's their birthday. Nah. First of all, I just seen how you tear up your whole house right now. You're not about to take care of this gecko. You know what I mean? Like the
Nah,
parents
that's
don't even
real.
care. They already scared in the corner. Every time I pull something out, they running away. They're like, "This is for you. This is for you."
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah,
know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
So I ain't
yeah.
about to just leave. That's what I thought you were talking about. But you talking about family and stuff too. So I feel you. That's straight. But I mean, I help people too when I go to parties, and they're like, "We have a gecko." I'm like, "Cool. Well, before I leave, let me check it out."
Let me
And so
check
I'll
it
go,
out. Yeah,
and
exactly.
I've helped a lot of people. They're like, "Oh my God, I didn't know about this or this. I didn't. I had the wrong light. I had the wrong heat. I had the wrong size tank, and this and that." I'm like, "It's all good. We're gonna get you right." I had
Yeah,
one kid
yeah,
literally, he was in tears, like, "Oh my God!" I was like, "Dude, your setup is good, bro. You just need one more setup because you got two in one. So." One more setup and you good. So don't cry. They're fine. They're healthy. Nobody's nipping at each other. So you got a good pair that, they're not fighting with each other. So you got time. But and he was just like, oh my God, he was just so overwhelmed. Him and his mom was, me and the mom was like, calm down, bro. It's okay. We gonna get it right. Mom's like, I took notes. We're gonna get it right. It's okay.
But
But
that's good though. That's
yeah.
good though because you see that he got a passion. He just want to make sure that he's doing it the right way.
Yeah,
You
no,
know.
and that's why it's cool. So I stayed like an extra 30 minutes, just literally talking to them about geckos and how to set it up, and proper stuff like that. So when I see people like that, I'll give them as much time as they need. Give them my card. Hey, contact me too if you ever have any questions later on, whatever. So I try to help out.
Yeah, it's definitely
So
a cool marketing strategy as well.
Exactly, because
So you,
every time I do shows, they're like, "I want one." I'm like, "Well, here's my card. I do breed and sell them." And the mom's like, "For real?" I'm like, "Mm-hmm. Please buy one. Get it out my house."
so let me ask you. So I know you said you started doing the expos this year. So what are your pros and cons about the expos currently? For what you have experienced, for your experience,
It's a good
like
question.
these questions.
Nah, this is good because I did another show. Questions weren't as fire. I was just like, okay. But nah. So pros and cons. I mean, it's really a lot of cons, but I mean, there's pros too. So it's all about your own individual experience for real, and what your purpose is being there. So that's it's always gonna change. But I mean, obviously, the pros is to get your name out, get recognition, build with your community. That's what I'm doing. So even if you don't want to buy a gecko, I'm local here in Marietta. You met me, you'll book me for a party or something. We can still talk animals and stuff. Um, so it's a pro for that, selling your product, trying to make a profit. And like I said, building with the community. So now you meeting other vendors, maybe you made a new friend, all that good stuff. But the cons, woo, you ain't gonna sell nothing. If you are, you sold your heart and a little piece of your soul. But nah, then you just see how you start to see, like I said, how the real is. So you peeping other people's tables and you're like, you got these four animals in one cup. This is crazy. This is not, ethical. Why are people okay with it? You just start having these questions. Now you're seeing people for who they are through animals without even talking to them. You start seeing they care. So you start seeing maybe half the room you don't even really like, but you're just being tolerable to be nice with people, just stuff like that. You're there all day, maybe you don't make no sale. So cons are just, again, however you see it. If some people not making a sale but talking to 20 people, that was good for them. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So
yeah,
so it just depends on what you trying to do. Like my first one, my goal was sell one animal. So one animal, I'm go home happy. I did my thing and I did. So I was like, bet. I just kind of set little small goals and expectations, and
yeah.
I don't
Little
try to go.
realistic
I
goals.
don't. Yeah, I don't try to go too crazy. You can, because like at this last show I tried, I was like, okay, I'm doing three crested geckos for $250. That's a steal. You getting one for that price. People coming up to the table. Not one person did that. Not one
Dang,
person. And I thought
dang.
it was gonna be like a boomer. Like, oh, they're gonna kick even the animal flippers. Like, oh, what? I'll go take those three and flip them. I thought somebody was not one person, bro, not one.
Man,
So it's anything could be a con. You know what I mean? Like it could be whatever. So as long as you had a good show, got to meet some people, have a good time, that's gonna be it. It's
You
gonna
gotta
be it.
count that as a win. I feel you.
Yeah.
so my question
That's,
with your pricing, do you go in with like a cheat sheet of what the lowest you'll take for an animal, like each individual animal, or how do you go about that? Because I know at the show it's always a negotiation.
It's always negotiation. I have a whole little speech when people come up. I'm like, every number here is negotiable. So if you see something you like, don't be shy. Fight for it. Speak up. Make an offer. Um, and some people they laugh. They're like, okay, okay. So I treat everything like you said, realistic. You know what I mean? When you're doing expos, just random normal people are coming through the door. They're not all gonna be reptile breeders and reptile keepers. There's just random people, moms, kids, whatever. So no, they're not gonna come in here and buy a $2,000 gecko from me. They're not gonna come in here and buy a $500 gecko from me. So
Right.
I treat the expos for pet quality, pet only geckos. I'll bring some higher stuff too in case somebody really wants to, but I try to bring all my low end stuff as much as possible, even high end stuff that I don't really care, because yeah, it might be high end. Well, I'm not gonna hoard it just because it's high end. If I'm not using it, I don't need it for a project. It's just taking up space. Sell it. Okay, I lost
Yeah,
$100 on. I
Yeah.
didn't lose anything because it could have been $50, but I made 100. So
Facts.
price is also in the brain too of what we like, what we don't like. You might value it as a $300 gecko. I might see it as a $25 gecko. You know, so it just goes by that. So I don't try to like be crazy with it. I did this also to give people first time pets without having to break the bank. They can see a dope leopard gecko and be like, man, all the dope ones are $300 and up. All the little yellow ones with spots. That's all you ever see. That's all you can get for like $50. It's like, well, no, I got some dope ones too with color and this and that you can get for cheap too. So here you go. Like try to have a balance for everybody, like a price for everybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm not
nah,
just
that's
trying to be like high end all the time. Like, oh, that's it. You ain't spending no more than 500 with me on off top. Like, it's not gonna work.
yeah, that's for sure.
So,
That's
so
for
I
sure.
do I do go into shows like that. So I first day, I price everything at what I really really would like for it. But by the second day, I probably take 50 to $20 off almost everything. You know what I mean? Or even some people, just depends on the people. Like, what's your budget? Man, I really like this gecko, but my budget's only this. All right, well, take it. Let's go. We can run that budget. That's fine.
Yeah,
Because it's a pet for you. You know what I mean? You're
yeah,
not like,
for
for
sure.
me, a breeder, I'm getting it specifically. So I'm going to profit off of this. So yeah, I'm going to pay that money because I'm going to sell these babies. And off of one season, I probably made the money back off all those babies for even $50 a pop. So it's just how you want to market it. And so some people want to be stricklers and stay with that price and get their money back. But it's just animals and it's all a mental game. So it's
Yeah,
all how
that's
you
real.
see it.
Like I feel the same way with it because I don't. So if I don't have a connection with it, it really doesn't have too much of a value like how everyone else would have. That's what I'm saying. Like
Exactly.
I gave away some. I made some bamboo. It was bamboo black pastel. Like it was some heavy stuff, and my man came past. He won a raffle, and I was like, "Shoot, take the other one." You know what I mean? Like it's not.
Yeah.
I don't care for it. It's not doing nothing for me. And DJ was like, "Nah, man, you need to keep one of them." And
Mhm.
other people like, "Man, you need to keep them." And I'm like, "But they're not doing nothing for me." You know what
That's
I
what I'm
mean?
saying. They're not doing that. Let them go to somebody who's gonna love them.
Who,
I'm
yeah,
I'm
who
gonna keep it
actually
alive, and yeah, but it's like I have a lot of work to do. So I'm gonna obviously gonna put forth my effort to what I'm loving at the moment. So if
mm-hmm.
you're not doing nothing for me, not breeding for me, I'm just keeping you alive. Like, all right, you gotta go. To somebody who's gonna take care of you. So
Facts,
especially if
facts.
they want it for a pet, then yeah, I mean I'll set you all up. Here you go. Work with your budget. Do what you got to do. As long as it's a pet, make you happy. But yeah, if you're a breeder, we're gonna have to talk a little numbers sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Now he dropped off some nice stuff. Like he dropped off 4 females. One's at breeding size right now. He gave me a whole rack. So I was just like, here,
hey,
take the other one. You know what I mean? Like you gave me a lot more, even though we're gonna be doing projects together and stuff like that. It was just like
yeah,
you already have an idea of what you want to do in that direction. I really don't. So I'd rather help you because you help me at the same time. So by giving me
yep,
more rack space and more room to be able to do it. So yeah, it
exactly.
definitely worked out. Definitely worked out.
Reese.
So
Go ahead, B.
so outside of just those animals, what other animals do you keep?
Uh, I got a black or I got an ice blue tegu. I got two yellow Uromastics. I got a blue iguana.
Nice.
I got two ball pythons, an exanthic, and a clown. I got three bearded dragons. I got an 8 foot albino berm. I got a redfoot tortoise, a Russian tortoise, two 50-pound sulcata tortoises.
Gee,
Uh, I got a hypo boa who's about 5, 6 foot. Lots of crestas, lots of leopard geckos. Then I got sugar gliders, Indian fantail pigeon, bunnies, chinchilla, and the
you got a
guinea pig.
whole little mini zoo down there.
Yeah, pretty much. And it's all in the crib. Like we're in my
Nice,
living room right now. That's the iguana cage over there.
nice,
Tegu up here in the top. Your
nice,
mastics down here.
nice.
Bearded dragons, over there. I got the 6 foot vision cage for my berm. Oh shit.
That man got a jungle in the living room.
In the living room with it. I
Yeah,
love that, bro. That's tough.
my little burn, her big burn right here. I don't know if y'all can see him,
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
but yeah, see, this the living room though. You know what I mean? Like it's right up in the living room. And then this my dining room. You know, we got the dog too. Forgot about the dog, but all my crested geckos and stuff right here. My two tortoises right here. And then it's full of trash. Don't be looking at that trash, but
So you keep the cicadas in that.
no, no,
That
no, 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 no. They in the garage. They got the whole
I
garage
was
to
going to
themselves.
say.
No, no, no. That's
And
the
the
red
Russian
foot.
tortoise out there, right?
That's the red
Russian
foot in
tortoise
the
out there.
Russian.
Because
Man,
I think the Russian tortoises, those are the second largest outside of the cicada.
The Russian tortoise? That boy,
No, the
this big.
Russians. Oh, I thought the
Yeah,
Russian
Russian
tortoise.
tortoises get 4 to 6 inches.
I could have
The
sworn it was.
sulcata tortoise is the third largest tortoise.
your sulcata is a pair.
I do have a pair, a boy and a girl. Hank the
Nice.
Tank and Chevy. They breed all the time, bro. It's
So
nasty.
you
You
have
can just you can just hear him. You hear him upstairs. Just,
he be making noise.
yeah, bro. He be on top. Mouth open. Then I go downstairs. I'm looking at him. He just. And so I just push him off. I'm like, bro, get off her. Um,
Oh my god.
but I've since she's in the garage, there's nowhere for her to like dig and lay. So I don't know if she's gonna lay no eggs. There was one time in the yard she started digging. And I let her dig. I was out there with her for like 3 hours. I started digging with her. I was like, come on, we're gonna lay these eggs. Dig
Right,
it.
right,
And then she gave up. And that was it. Never again dug again or nothing. So I was like, maybe they're just not old enough. Maybe at 10 years they still can't breed, because some tortoises take a minute, I guess, to get to
right. Yeah,
breeding
like 15,
maturity.
18 year old. Yeah.
So
You ever looked into that?
not really, just because I don't want to breed them. They're for the shows.
They
So
just
if
breed
they
them.
breed, cool. But if not, cool. Like I said, I'm not trying to like profit off of every little aspect. So
Yeah, no, that's
now I got to take care of a 30 little tortoises. Now I got to
yeah.
find them homes. Now I got to feed them.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just I'm not ready for that. So when it
Well, if you
happens,
ever have any, I'll definitely take them.
no, for sure. I mean, I give all y'all cots. Take them. Do. Take these babies.
Yeah, because I got a common snapping turtle when I just talking to DJ. I gotta actually get a bigger tank. So I'm not gonna do a tank. I'm gonna probably get like a big tub
Yeah, the
and put
tub
him in
joint.
there so he can grow out some more. Cause I had him for a while and he was just in this little tank, and now he is way too big for this tank. So I
I
definitely need
feel
to.
you. I feel you.
I take him to the shows and he cool. Like I take everything. I take all my reptiles so far. I haven't took the ferry yet. I
Okay.
would need like a little cat carrier or something to take her.
Yep.
But yeah, take all the animals, take everything, and man, them kids love the snapping turtle because they like that's a dinosaur. It's a
No, they
dinosaur.
do. They
Yeah,
do. Because
it's
I don't
crazy.
own a snapping turtle, but I have one every show. As soon as I take out the sulcata, it's a snapping turtle. I'm like, y'all clearly don't know what turtles are. Like,
So
all
yeah,
They
right.
definitely need to
they
get
just
a
be overly
tortoise
excited.
of some sort. I definitely need to, and I want cicada just because like I want something to where I officially want to farm, but I also want the animal to where you got your grandkids got to take care of it now. You know what I mean? Like they live hundreds of years,
Yeah.
so I take care of it. My kids take care of it. Then my grandkids got to take care of it. It's just this one thing in the family that just keeps going forever because
Yeah.
they might
I
sell
feel
the land.
that.
He done
Somebody got
seen
to
all
take care of
the
this turtle.
generations.
Yeah. Mine came to me. So I started the breeding stuff first. I wasn't doing any of the shows, like the birthday party stuff like that. While I was doing, I forgot what I was doing, but some ad came across my phone that said "My Reptile Guys Atlanta," and I was like, What is that?" I was like, "I'm in Atlanta. What's that?" Started looking. I'm like, "They doing reptile shows." I was like, "I do bar mitzvahs, weddings. I do shows all the time." I was like, "What's that?" Okay, I contacted them, and it's this guy named Glenn. Shout out to Glenn. He's my boss. So I work for a company called My Reptile Guys Atlanta, and so they
Sweet.
book me. They book me through that a lot, and then I get my own bookings, from word of mouth and my own stuff. But most of my bookings come from them. So it's like a
Nice.
management. It's like a management company. I pay them like a management fee at the end of the week after all my shows, and that's how I got into it. So he basically franchised me with these animals. These were his, and he retired. So before, you would go to his house, pick them up, go do shows,
Come out,
drop them
yeah,
off,
yeah.
and then he was like, "Hey, you think you can take care of these?" I was like, yeah, I guess. He's like, "Cool, come get them." I was like, "All right."
Nice,
And so
nice.
now I have a berm. Now I have two giant sulcatas. Now, because when I called him and I was like, "Yeah, I want to get hired. How do I get hired?" He's like, "Well, what animals you got?" I was like, "Well, I got a bearded dragon, and I got this and leopard geckos." He's like, "So you got nothing big?" I was like, "Nah, not really." I mean, he's like, "Well, you need bigger animals to do the show. You can't just go in there with a bunch of little stuff. Nobody wants to see all that." I was like,
Facts, facts.
"Yeah, you're right, you're right." And so he gave me these animals, and they were his, now they mine. So now I'm responsible for them. I take care of them and stuff like that. So even if they're not doing shows, they still mine. They all my pets and stuff like that. So, but
That's
I came onto them. I came into them from him. So it's not like I just went out and got them. It was like, "Oh no, you have to have these." I'm like, "Oh." So now I had to change my whole life, figure out how to keep them, and boy, they a pain in the butt. Giant sulcatas. Unless you got a nice pen outside, they a pain in the butt. And because I don't have a
exactly.
fenced-in yard, I have to keep them in the garage. But I let them out like dogs. I open the garage, they run around in the yard instantly, eat grass. They got the FedEx man stopping, everybody stopping. Are those real? I'm like, yeah, they real. You can pet it. You can come pet it. Like, for real? I'm like, yeah, it's just a tortoise. It ain't gonna hurt you. And so, they cause a little tension and stuff sometimes, but sometimes they fast, bro. They be like three houses down, just in the road, just going. I'm like, no, gotta go over there and carry them all the way back to the
Carry them
house,
back.
bro. So probably like 2 more years, I'm gonna have to get a wheelbarrow for sure.
Facts. Put them in the wheelbarrow.
I was about to say,
This,
how fast do they grow? Do they grow slow?
Uh, to be
If
honest,
they
I don't
live,
know because I haven't gone through that whole growing process. I got them at 10 years old. I've had them for about
uh,
2 years. So in that 2 years, they've gotten a little heavier, but I haven't noticed like
like,
growth. You know what I mean? I don't think because they live 150 years, I don't think they grow too fast.
yeah,
So
yeah,
it's
yeah.
probably gonna be like like in 5 years, I'm gonna be like, okay, you were bigger, but
yeah.
it ain't gonna be like over a year time. You know what I mean? So,
So my
but.
cousin just got one, so I'll definitely be able to see how fast they grow. She got a little baby, and I know in about 3 years they'll probably get up to like 10 pounds. You know what I mean? Like they don't grow
Something.
real fast, but it's
They
gradual.
eat a lot. I mean, as long as you feeding them right, they'll grow. But you right though, cause so I had two babies when I first got them. It's kind of a sad story. I went to Underground Reptiles. I bought two sulcatas. Came home, they faces was falling off, so I had to go to the vet. Yeah, my man's jaw just dropped, just unhinged. The other one, the nose just fell off like Michael Jackson. It was wild. So I had to take him to the vet, and the vet basically was like, "They have parasites, and you got to euthanize them. They're gonna die." So I had to
Dang.
contact Underground Reptile, tell him, send him the proof or whatever. He sent me two more, and when he sent me those, I was like, I don't want nothing else from y'all. So I just kind of sold them off. And so actually, one of them I sold to this lady here in Georgia who is now doing her own education shows and stuff like that with animals. And she uses him. And he's 4 or 5 years old now. And he's about this big.
Yeah,
My camera's
yeah,
so weird. Yeah, he's about this big now from this size to about here now. He's
yeah.
pretty big. So that's like 4 years. So yeah, you're right. Probably about 7 to 10 pounds.
I love
Man,
them.
that's crazy.
I
Yeah,
love
That's
them.
that's that's crazy. All right, Reese. So we winding down here. What I gotta step out tonight. It's my brother's birthday, so I'm gonna have to
yeah,
end the show. I
yeah.
ain't ended it too early, but we definitely glad you came out and kicked it with us, my boy. You definitely
I
let some
told you I
people know
would.
on our side of the woods, what we got going on, the type of people we meet, and what I'm saying, it's good people in this hobby. Can you let
Yeah.
everybody know where they can find you at, my boy?
In my bed, sleep. No, I was playing. Shoot, you can find me on Instagram at House of Reps. If you want to see me breakdancing, it's ATL Shinobi on Instagram.
ATL
Um,
Shinobi.
ATL Shinobi. Shinobi was my b-boy name. But yeah, Facebook House of Reps, Instagram House of Reps, TikTok House of Reps. We on most of the stuff. But
Morph Market.
I do
That's
got a website, Morph Market. Yeah, Morph Market on there. Do got to promote that more.
Yeah,
Slacking
you
on
do.
Morph Market,
You
bro.
you slip you slipping.
That's what I mean. I just taking care of animals. The price stuff, all that stuff be coming later. It be tiring. Like, oh,
No,
all right.
you doing any up and coming? You got any up and coming shows as far as like expos, anything like that?
Repticon January 9th and 10th. Repticon Atlanta. I'll be in the building coming up.
I thought it was the 6th and the 7th.
6th and the 7th. The Repticon. I'll be in Atlanta.
All right,
That
man.
man
Brandon, you got anything you want to add, my
said-
boy? You got
oh
anything you
yeah,
want to add, me?
make
Oh
sure
yeah,
y'all
man. I appreciate you,
make
man.
sure
Shout
y'all
out to
get
that
that
swag.
merch, man.
Hold on, hold on. Hold on. Look, let me keep you. Let me keep. There you go. There you go.
He
Reese, I ain't
said,
forget. I'm about to put you on there too.
I was picking my numbers.
Oh, I'm gonna have to get one of
How
them
you?
too. I'm gonna
Oh
have to
yeah,
definitely
man.
get
Reese
one of
be
them.
playing. Reese got the plug on the shirts and all that, man. He be playing.
Yeah, I can get you hooked up, man. Just let me know what you need. My boy will take care of you.
All right, cool. Definitely. I'm gonna
Sure.
definitely reach out to you. I need some more information
Yeah,
about
he's
mine.
got some good prices and stuff. Quality t-shirts. I've had these washed them so many times, and I mean, you see how bright it is. It's not dull. So
That's what's up.
he
That's
got
what's
good
up.
stuff.
I definitely gotta get that plug. But
Shipping
other than
too.
that, y'all, I appreciate y'all for coming out and kicking it with us, man. This is another off the plane episode. About to roll the credits, y'all. We out.